Alrighty, welcome back. We are on episode number 94 of Divinity Original Sin, Part 1, the Enhanced Edition. So, I have to make a decision here. I have the Bloodstone that we haven't used yet. Last Bloodstone opened up a group of imps and a room with a Moloch in it that allows us to respec our characters at a price. But I don't know if I should go ahead and use this Bloodstone now to open up the next room, or if I should go and wait until I get affected by rot again, assuming I am going to be affected by rot again, and use it then when I can cure the rot. Since I just opened the room, I don't know if that bandit imps that came along with that opening, if there's anything associated with them over a duration of time, as opposed to like opening a portal one after the other. So I think I'm leaning towards not doing that. I'm going to go ahead and save the Bloodstone for now, and we'll just go back and complete this part of the quest. So we'll go over here and free a car. Yeah. The other thing is, in the treasure room over here, there are some runes there that we haven't been able to read. So I'm hoping I have some kind of resolution to that after talking with these guys, or freeing a car. Alright. Alright, first we'll talk to Arhu, see if he has anything new to say about it.
I've tried my very best, and will try and try anew. But so far this damnable ice scoffs at my every effort. Sewer, you say? But that is wonderful. My faith in you as ever well placed. At your leisure, Source Hunter. Though for Akara's sake we ought not to dilly-dally too long. The White Witch is quickly growing a whiter shade of pale indeed.
New inventory, looks like. 1 dexterity, 1 pickpocketing. You get a lot of movement out of it too. Okay, that might be something I'm interested in. Let's see. I don't really want to lose a stat though, so I don't want to lose that. We would lose Lore Master, but pick up the movement and the resistances. Possibly. It's a lot of movement. And I like having movement. I think we'll do that. I don't think I have my bartering gear on though. And for whatever reason, I still don't have his reputation up. Let's go ahead and check out our... You know what, before we do this...
It seems the Winter King has woven ice too rare and powerful for mere fire.
Let me go...
I don't know how long she'll last within that ice. There must be a way.
Go back to the end of time. Let me equip Wolfgar and Wolfgar. Too much what's this? Oh, they're coming at me? Oh, they're coming at me. Too much Forgotten Realms books. Wolgraf and Bear Daughter. Let's go ahead and equip them. Yeah, thank God that imps don't follow you everywhere. My God, I would kill every one of them if they did that. Alright,
Dancing dugongs, you nearly startled me out of my boots. Well, you've got my attention, comrade. But what'll you do if a parliament of Source Owls swoops down only moments after I depart? Well, I reckon I'll keep a lookout on the Shelter Plain until you lot come to your senses. Medora salutes you, comrades, until we meet again.
You call to Ulgraf. He awaits your queries. A wide smile showing all teeth and gums lightens the rogue's face as he gathers his belongings and prepares to join you once more. He's as ready as ever.
What can I do for you, Source Hunter? Do you now? Yours is this mistake to make, Hunter, and yours is the opportunity to set it right. Until then, I shall reside at the end of time, among imps.
And now he's right, he is among imps.
Rawr! That is, how can I help you, my friend? May the hunt continue!
Alright, let's see what we have here. And actually, before we do that, let's go ahead and make some combinations. Combine. Let's start with you. Okay. Alright. Look at what we're not using here. What's long dagger of the storms, okay. Alright, so that. Alright, so those two can go away. This strength, neither of them are strength. This is possible. 6. Initiative. Intelligence. Okay, go ahead and toss that way. Hmm. Yeah, let's go bodybuilding. Neat strength, huh? I might have to get his strength up. I'm gonna leave those on him. Okay.
You call to Walgraf. He awaits your queries. Walgraf gives a curt, disgruntled nod and does a funny dance while holding his hands to his head like floppy ears. You assume he's off to stay with Zigzags on the Shelter Plain, or that he's having a stroke.
Rawr! That is, how can I help you, my friend? If you say so, Source Hunter. But take a lesson from the ancient king of Battlestone, who on his deathbed moaned, "Would that I had kept my friends as close as I had kept my enemies."
Dance and dugongs, you nearly startled me out of my boots. Well, you've got my attention, comrade. My hand to your cause and my sword at your side, comrade.
What can I do for you, Source Hunter? Only fools believe. Wise creatures know. Yes, I shall rejoin you, for you've much to learn yet.
Okay, so now let's go back to there. Where is it? Oh, Barger. Okay. Go back to Hyberheim Prison. Alright. No, not that way. Let's go this way. Now watch him not have it.
Damnation! Not even a crack! I've tried my very best, and will try and try anew. But so far this damnable ice scoffs at my every effort. Sewer, you say? But that is wonderful. My faith in you as ever well placed. At your leisure, Source Hunter. Though for Akara's sake we ought not to dilly-dally too long. The White Witch is quickly growing a whiter shade of pale indeed.
Okay. Alright, let's sort this by weight. Oh. I wanted to do this. So I wanted to get his 67. I'm not gonna have anything that falls through to that, am I? $1,900. $64. Alright, so quite a bit still. Alright, so if we give C that much, 4,000. Got 20, huh? That's a whole lot to get his rep all the way up. I don't know. Hmm. Okay, so what do we need here? No. Yes. No, no. No. All of those. Oh. Alright. Hmm. Alright, closing in on it. Alright, so we would have to give him what? 2, 4, 6, 8? 800 more? Let's go with 600. And that should 600 should give us 98. 99. I expected that to be 98. So I guess we'll do 50s. Alright, there we go. Now let's get that. And 3,000. Okay. Save that. So now send to Matora. Now I gotta figure out who I was gonna give that to. Was it gonna be him?
I don't know how long she'll last within that ice. There must be a way.
Dexterity Lore Master. Yeah, I think that's what I was gonna do. Get rid of that one. Let's see what we do over here.
I don't know how long she'll last within that ice. There must be a way.
So I have 2 Dexterity and Lore Masters. So this one can go away now completely. Okay. Alright,
There she is, the White Witch.
I don't know how
a
long she'll last
prisoner
within
in
that ice. There must
I wonder
be a
what
way.
sorcery, or worse, sorcery, we'll have to use to get her out.
This is your White Witch, then? And you're sure you want to free her, are you? Even our mad Boreas wouldn't have wasted such precious ice on a petty criminal. Whatever she did to find herself here must have been rather severe indeed. But I am in your debt, and I would be remiss not to honor your request. Shield your eyes, Source Hunter. To melt ice of this refinement, I'll need to summon an equally rare flame.
His inventory repopulated. And now he's got another tormented soul. Did I get the first one, or did I never buy this one? Shit. I don't remember.
Gods, it's colder than a witch's teat. How very callous of Leandra to inter her only sister in a barren tundra for eternity.
Ikara, you're all right? The ice, King Boreas, and your sister. What a frigid hell you've endured.
And yet not even a frigid hell like this could induce you to put on a shirt, could it, Ahu? My old friend, surely I have you to thank for my salvation.
That honor goes to a pair of talented source hunters, actually. If not for their efforts, I'd be quite uselessly prowling around your prison still.
Then perhaps I ought to address my savior directly. Source Hunter, is that the masquerade? Well, what a motley crew we are. Isn't there somewhere a bit warmer we might discuss matters? Ah, yes, of course, of course. Do pardon me. I didn't mean to imply you were very clearly eternal beings in the guise of minor mortals. Not at all. Please, let's do carry on.
How is it that every single fucking being we come across knows this but us? I mean, does everyone in Rivellon know it?
Oh, yes, I suppose I am. But I do prefer my given name. Ikara, that is. Charmed. But I hope I haven't disappointed my own hero. Am I just as white and witchy as you'd hoped? First things first, Source Hunter. For my freedom, I owe you every imaginable thanks. My soul had withered in this prison, and I might not have survived much longer without your help. Now, about the culprits, my corrupted sister and the mad Winter King. When I realized exactly where, and to whom Leandra was consigning me, I was certain I'd never enjoy the sun's warmth again. But neither she nor I anticipated the Source Hunter. That was her mistake, and my blessing. I never would have imagined Leandra capable of dealing with the likes of Boreas, but she has changed into someone I hardly recognize anymore. My own little sister, if you can imagine it. She was always the more ambitious, the more exacting of us, and she had no fear of the darkness that so often accompanies Source. Her collusion with King Boreas in imprisoning me here confirms my worst fears. She is planning something far greater than I could have anticipated. For this reason, and with a heavy heart, I must ask you, Source Hunter, to find out how far exactly Leandra has become entwined in the dark arts. I take no pleasure in the memory of that night. The thought of hurting anyone or anything is abhorrent to me. But in this case, I judged it necessary. If you've come this far, I trust you've learned that the Counselor was far from a humble civil servant. This doesn't excuse my behavior, but perhaps it can help to explain it. It's a sordid story, to be perfectly frank. Two sisters, a philanderous, treacherous wizard, death and mayhem. Are you sure you're interested in such things?
Okay, so we know that that Leandra is jealous of Ikara. That was based on one of the imps we met in Lucula forest below her cavern. And it seemed to be jealousy over a wizard unnamed. And I speculate whether or not it's Madrino, because we've seen multiple references to Madrino. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right or not. Madriano, he of the book that we first met, we first read there after we killed Florius? No, the dog Murphy and his the two legionnaires at almost the beginning of the game. And then there was another reference to Madrino or Maduro. Mariano. Mariano? Oh, shit, I don't know. Mariano, maybe. Or is this Zandalore, the Zandalore's trunks? Which we've had multiple references to. Or it could even be Belagar. It might be Belagar.
The sparkle in your eye belies your better nature, Source Hunter. Now I know that it is your duty to get to the heart of this. And, in truth, the events of that night were but one part of a larger and much darker matter. A matter in which I'll dare to beg your assistance before we're through with one another. Now that terrible night.
Oh, okay.
One night, as I slept, I had a sudden revelation. No dream, but a vision. My sister Leandra and my lover Zandalore. I didn't understand, but I recognized their location. Syceel's King Crab Inn. I arrived and looked through their window, but inside, everything was wrong. Leandra had fled, and Councillor Jake stood over the wizard, a knife in his hand and hate in his eyes. As I watched, he drove the dagger deep into Zandalore's heart, and I was too late to stop him. In that moment, I broke. I saw before me not a man, not even a beast, but evil incarnate. And I used Source to slay him. On the floor lay Zandalore. In my hands, I held Jake's life force. I had sworn never to use Source, but I couldn't walk away. And so I did the unthinkable. I used the Councillor's life to save Zandalore's. He was alive, but only just. Betrayal. Murder. Source. We were all of us guilty now. If you were any other Source Hunter, I suppose you'd strike me down where I stand after that terrible admission. Fortunately for us both, you are no other Source Hunter.
That's awfully presumptuous of her. Why would she assume I wouldn't strike her down? So, it was Zandalore. Okay. Zandalore, the Zandalore's trunks. He of the annoying voice. I can see why Leandra wanted to put a dagger in his heart. Anyway, so she killed Jake with Source and took his life force and then used his life force to resurrect, basically, Zandalore. But when we met Zombie Jake, it seemed like he had his life, like, I mean, obviously he was still dead, but, you know, it seemed like he was res with some of his life force. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to remember any of that information, I would imagine. That's kind of, I don't know, that's disconnected. Anyway.
I hate to extend my own invitation, Source Hunter, but I believe I ought to accompany you to Zigzax's hideout. Presumptuous, yes, but I'd recognize the imp's essence just about anywhere.
Yep, very presumptuous.
Both he and you must learn more about the darkness that has extended itself into our dearest Rivellon. And I believe I know where we must begin. Ah, but unless that's a bear flailing through the threads of time, I do believe Master Zixax is on his way. Make way, Source Hunter, landing in 3, 2...
Hunters, you've done it! Ikara is free! Ah, what good it does my impish heart to see her safe and bright as ever! We have much to discuss. Come one and all to the end of time. A spot of something warm with the soft glow of the tapestry ought to do us all a bit of good, You are Ikara. Now, if we're done playing hide and seek, let's not waste a jot more time. Oh, I just can't wait to pick your every synapse.
After you, Master Zixax.
So that's the White Witch, eh? I expected someone a little more evil. I can't say I'd cut her down for mistake, but she sure has fewer horns than I expected.
Here is a woman clearly deserving of respect, Medora. Please, for once, let not your source-addled presumptions cloud your judgment.
Okay, so the fire elemental's gone. I don't know what happened to him, but he just poofed. What did we get out of this whole thing here? I don't know what we got out of it because it took us into that screen, the movie. We did get a reputation out of it. We were at 10. I know that because of that last episode. So we picked up at least 1 reputation for that. And now see the conversation went away. That is so fucking stupid. Why did they make the conversations go away? It makes absolutely no sense.
We've solved the murder and caught the culprit, yet this case feels anything but closed.
You know what's funny is this basically turned into jealousy. It's just she murdered Jake out of jealousy. Well, no, not him out of jealousy. Maybe revenge, but it stemmed from jealousy. And the other thing is, we don't know if Zandalar was there by his own free will. Like, maybe he wanted to be with Leandra. Like he was cheating on Akara or even betraying her. So he may not be a good guy to begin with, you know? Anyway.
There's more to this crime than simple fact. Killing a killer is hardly the same as killing an innocent, after all.
Who was she to rank the life of the wizard over that of Jake? This is a cut and dry case of murder, I say.
Pragmatic and romantic. So he picked up romantic. I think we want that for both. So romantic it will be.
There's more to this crime than simple fact. Killing a killer is hardly the same as killing an innocent, after all.
We'll have to learn more before we can assess Ikara's true guilt in this matter. Fortunately, she seems quite eager to tell us more about this entire dark affair.
Alright, romantic now. Alright. So, what do we have here? Everybody has the same XP. 857,350. 857,350. So that's how much XP we got. And definitely got the reputation. What we did not get was anything to deal with this. And I would have thought I've already gotten it from everything now. So I have missed something somewhere along the way. I don't think I'm gonna get it when I go to end of time. But I guess we're gonna go check it out. See, maybe I do get it there. Maybe we'll get it from the wishing well? Okay, yep, the imps are coming. I guess we'll just avoid all these guys. Band of imps. Oh my god, more imps. Did more join? Jesus, how many? Oh, they were nice and spread out there too, finally. Let's see if I can't get them spread out again. Stop, 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 stop. Damn it. Anyway. Moving on. I don't know if I picked up any imps or not. Alright, so now we have 4 here.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Their where and why is of no import. This moment is all there is. The crux is what we do with it.
Think I could fly straight to the void? I think I could fly straight to the void. All the way up.
Why are they not acting their lines?
A bit drafty in here, isn't it? Are we near
Mine
a
is but
event?
the pen. Theirs is the sword. And this is a time for swords.
But if they succeed, the time of the pen will return forever.
So it shall. So it shall.
Okay, this is annoying as all Falcon Hell. A, not voiced acted lines there, and B, having to sit there listen to the fucking imps talk while they're doing that is just fucking annoying. So let's go see what this is all about, because I missed the entire fucking conversation when we first started. Alright, come on, get up here. Alright, so it starts with Arhu. They clearly think us capable of averting this disaster alone. Wouldn't you say? Who's they? Or perhaps they're all off on holiday in the fairy realm, tanning their divine bodies and drinking ambrosia cocktail with tiny umbrellas. Their where and why is of no import. This moment is all there is. The crux is what we do with it. Each moment is but a speck of time come and gone. Each crux breaks one after the next, and all we do is talk. What more can we do? We don't resonate with starstones. Only the Guardians have that power. Mine is but the pen. Theirs is the sword. And this is a time for swords. But if they succeed, the time of the pen will return forever. Huh. That's a bold statement. So it shall, so it shall. Okay, so I guess the gods are off on a beach somewhere suntanning, like that sorcerer that we ended up killing in front of Evelyn's hideout. Alright. I wonder if that was just bugged, or whether or not they actually do act those lines out. Let's see if they have any more going on.
Tell me, O Weaver, if you know all that is past and present, does that mean
Shay,
you know the future
have you
as
seen
well?
my magic box?
Alas,
it's got
no.
all kinds of wonders.
I can predict with a degree of certainty, but I cannot speak of what is to come unequivocally. Time and I are one, but we must both run our
That's a nice
course before
ring to it,
reaching
doesn't it?
reality.
Alright, you take your sorry ass way the fuck over here.
A bit drafty in here, isn't it? Are we near a event?
I wonder, do you know more about the Void? What it is? What lies at the heart of it?
What lies at its heart? Why, nothing, of course. The great absence of all that even the gods cannot comprehend. It eludes us, like infinity, or the finality of tick-tocking time.
Alright, apparently each of us get 4 imps. Or maybe more than that. Well, at least I can see what they look like now that they're spread out. I didn't know that. Alright, let's see. I'm supposing Akara will start having her own little conversations like Arhu did, but maybe not. Or maybe I
Our
have to talk to him
heroes have
first.
chosen fine vessels for their return. Mere humans, I'd have said but a little while ago, and yet they've managed to bring us together across space and time.
Space, time, and a frigid prison wasteland.
Now that you mention it, what did you do to Leandra to earn her icy ire, Ikara?
Leandra and I have had our differences, but she herself would never have sent me to that frozen hell. Something or someone has taken hold of her. I'm sure of it.
Okay. Nope. Surely it's not the jealousy over her lover Zandalar that caused it, right?
I have seen the Void, and it haunts me. Follows my vision like confused spots after staring in the sun.
We are haunted by the same vision, my friend. The end of all visions. But only in the dark can light be born. Let us cling to that and hope.
They should have made the imps follow Jahan if Jahan was in your group. That would have been comical. Even Medora would have been comical. Who knows how many random lines
The
they
question
have.
has me stumped, milady. Why are there 2 of us? 2 beings that record all of history parallel to one another.
That is a good question, Zigzags. One without a conclusive answer, though its resolution may lie in conception. Where you chronicle, I both chronicle and create. Where you arrive at conclusions, I spin origins besides.
See, these original conversations that you heard at the beginning of the game, once you get the new people sitting next to them, they should have input on the older conversations. So now I'm just randomly waiting to see whether or not Akara has more lines than what she
You both
did.
puzzle and delight me, Sir Ahu. To be man and cat both. Such an interesting life you lead.
You flatter me, my lady, but yes, I quite like to weave between 2 planes of existence, bound by mind and soul. There is a grandeur to it, if a humble one.
And trust me, dear lady, that grandeur humbles rather quickly when you see him groom himself.
There is magic to this place, isn't there? No matter how forlorn it seems.
There is magic, but it is not so much forlorn as it is dormant. I trust the Source Hunters and their star stones will stir it from its slumber.
I'm confident they will. They must. The alternative is unthinkable. How did you find High Behind this time of year, dear Kara?
Cold, Master Imp. Very, very cold.
Okay, she has at least 2 lines now.
You and Zandalor have always been close, Ahu. Pray tell, did you know anything about his affair at the King Crab?
Come now. Do you really think he'd let me in on it in advance if he'd been planning an affair with your sister?
How can I tell? Maybe you taught him a thing or 2 about slinking around in between shadows.
If that were true, Ikara, he wouldn't have been murdered, resurrected, and pursued by the bringer of the apocalypse as a result now, would he?
Ha! True enough.
Yep, she's a jealous white witch. Jealous of her younger sister.
Tell me, my friend, have you heard any recent prophecies regarding the... what was it again? Oh yes, the so-called Damned One?
Not lately, Master Imp. Indeed, I very much fear that until the void is caged once more, there will be no future to prophesy. So this tapestry represents all of time. One wouldn't think time itself would include so many threads dangling temptingly where any claw could reach it.
Look alive, Madam Weaver. Our friend Ahu here is no better than the Void when his instincts overcome him. Clawing at time and void. He wouldn't, would he?
So that's 4 different conversations she has. Maybe 5. Not sure if I caught one. That might be the end of it.
The Lady of Time! The Weaver of History! I am your biggest fan, dear lady. Could I get your autograph?
It shall be my pleasure, Sir Imp. I'll embroider it in the first volume of your all-encompassing chronicles.
Alright, so... Roderick has... Evdic, Jason,
I could fly straight to the void?
Oscar,
I think I could fly straight to the void.
Taddick,
Oh!
Spitra, Akara. She has 4. Crooked B...
I wonder how much of a spark it takes to zap a human to vapor.
Rate Milto. Okay. Alright, moving on. Let's go. Let's begin our talks. Alright, let's talk to our
I hope
hunters.
your quest fares well, dear hunter. Ah, yes, that was a small fib on my part, I'm afraid. Zandalore is known as the Keeper of the Source, after all. And I didn't know how Source hunters would react to my association with such a colorful character.
Yeah, we don't trust our...
A bit drafty in here, isn't it?
Oh, they're gonna go on and on now.
Event. I wonder how much of a spark it takes to zap a human to
There
vapor.
are quite a number of imps here, my most honored guest. Ask, and I shall answer, if I can.
Okay, nothing new.
I'd welcome you back to your homestead, but it seems the Imparium on the Imp plane at the end of Imp is far more appropriate. Like the Imp said to the ballista operator, shoot! Indeed I can. The tapestry has revealed all. Saucy stuff, I can tell you that. But of course, you're professionals and interested in the dry facts only, not the smutty details. Suffice to say that though Zandalore and Ikara were an item, the wizard gave in to his baser instincts when her sister Leandra came a-wooing. Only, what truly interested her was not his body, but his mind and the secrets of the source buried therein. Jake was there too, waiting in the shadows to ascertain that between the two of them, they'd be able to subdue the wizard should he become unruly.
Great joke.
No more. You see, he is instrumental to her plans. But when Zandalore became suspicious, she didn't hesitate to play the part of Black Widow, ready to kill after copulation, ready to break her sister's heart twice over. Ah, Leandra. Imp Slayer, Blood Craver, Void Seeker. All-round lovely lass, ain't she? Quite a card, isn't she? I never know whether that one's going to offer a striking commentary on my efforts to record the Great Dwarven Wars, or a potion meant to turn my tongue blue for a week. She and I have run in the same sort of magical circles for, well, not as long as I can remember, but close to it. Once in a century or so, I'll pop in while she's experimenting with a particularly interesting charm, and we'll share a mug of glow wine and a discussion about this and that. Quite glad you brought her here, I am. When Ikara's here, there's nothing to fear. That's what she always tells me, anyhow.
So,
Why? I see Master Zigzags has upgraded from his shabby little hut at the edge of the hour, from the fairy dimension to the, space-time weaver hunter imp one. What do you call this place again? Ha! Is that so? It seems I have my share to learn about the magical world yet. The end of time. Well, suddenly your association with Master Zigzags makes sense. Well, I must say, it's no small relief to find myself in a safe haven among such allies.
Think I could fly straight to the void?
I believe the answer to that begins centuries ago, when your order was still cutting down so-called dark magicians by the dozens. Ours was a family of born sorcerers, you see. It was in our blood to interact with Source, but our parents were determined to curb the power within us. Still, their meekness wouldn't save them from the Source Hunters. I am, but there is more to our kind than they teach at your academy. Source isn't only blood and madness. It's like lightning, an exquisite current of great power. We sorcerers are like metal steeples. Source is drawn to us and it flows through us. But what so many fail to understand is that Source can be controlled. The power drunk through history have abused it, and all the world's sorcerers have borne terrible consequences. Tell me, Source Hunter, in all your hours studying the arcane arts, did your great masters ever suggest that perhaps not all sorcerers were evil? Did you ever hear, even once, that some of us were weak and gentle, that we could be simple forest folk healing the sick and frozen each winter? No. I doubt also that they'd mention that one day this hunt of yours would birth a broken soul powerful enough to inch all of Rivellon toward oblivion.
Has a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
No, that would be going too far and eschewing my own responsibility. I believe Leandra's long fall down did begin at the hands of some of your own order, but it was I who sparked all of this. They came on a quiet morning. My mother was wild with fright and commanded me to hide myself and Leandra outside, among the trees. Even at that young age, we knew not to question her. We climbed high into the branches of a nearby tree, and before we could look away, our parents were cut down without ceremony before our door. The Source Hunters sauntered away, wiping their blades with pride. 2 more sorcerers dead, a job well done. From that moment on, everything was different. As we trembled in that tree, our fear and our desperation were so potent that the magic within us began to weave together. Our souls became forged together, our bond unbreakable. We would survive, thrive even, within those woods, never speaking to outsiders. Our soul forge meant that if one of us were to die, the other would instantly perish too. We kept one another close. Leandra's capacity was enormous. Source didn't frighten her, and she delved into that dark well with terrible regularity. I did my best to guide her, but she fast outgrew my admonitions. My sister and I were mired in a solitary existence, witches among the trees when Zandelor came. Leandra especially couldn't leave him be. He was a feast of information, and she wouldn't rest until she'd absorbed every bit of knowledge he offered. Their days were spent on charms, hexes, and the like. At night, Leandra would wander off to practice what she'd learned, and Zandelor and I would settle into our quiet tasks, side by side. We were a content trio, the three of us, but base impulse would undo us. As you know, Leandra and I were soul-forged. This offered us a window into one another's souls. I knew Leandra had developed feelings for Zandelor, and she knew I had too. But it was me to whom he confessed his love. Those quiet evenings together had captured his heart, as they had mine. Her heart broke the moment we announced our new attachment, and I felt the pain of it as sharply as a knife. She fled, without a word, and I didn't see her for 2 terrible years. My connection to her, our soul forge, grew weaker. It was as though some third entity, a parasite, were atop our souls, sucking the strength from it day by day. I believe that our soul forge has been damaged. By what? I can only guess. The fraying of the bond between us has left Leandra adrift in a well of sorrow she truly believes will never end. What she needs is a hand, my hand, out of this abyss. If our soul forge is repaired, I am certain she'll cease blazing this path of destruction. I cannot condone the terrible things she's done, but I can seek to understand them. With our soul forge in such tatters, I believe Leandra is adrift in the not at all inconsiderable sorrows of our lives. What's more, I sense a terrible force bearing down upon the bond between us. It is hungry, and it consumes ever more of Leandra's mind and soul. I cannot say exactly what this force might be, but I'm certain it's both driving me out and driving Leandra on. If I could only repair the forge, I'm certain she'd put a stop to this madness. We've a single order of business first and foremost. Leandra is gathering an army, and I fear we'll have to get through it if we wish to find her. But first, we must learn more about Leandra's plans. How many of these so-called Immaculates does she have in her palm, and to what end is she directing them? Your journey must begin in the Lacula mines, where she has been accumulating materials and manpower for a purpose as yet unknown. The way will be dangerous. Her allies are growing more powerful and numerous by the minute, but we must discover exactly what Leandra is planning and why. A soul forge comes with its own benefits, Source Hunter. Though our connection has weakened, I still see the occasional vision of Leandra's doings, the pangs of her deepest felt emotions, and flashes of her triumphs. One vision. I had thought it was only a nightmare, but now I see it was something much worse. Leandra is collecting materials, precisely what, I cannot say, and is hard at work shaping them into something sinister. Her frustrations are rivaled only by her mirth. I can see she's growing closer and closer to achieving something dire. You must make your way deep into the mines to see exactly what she's planning. The way may be treacherous, but you must get inside. I fear my sister is doing something dreadful so far from the light of day. You and Zandelor have always been close, Ahu. Pray tell, did you know anything about his affair at the King Crab?
Come now. Do you really think he'd let me in on it in advance if he'd been planning an affair with your sister?
How can I tell? Maybe you taught him a thing or two about slinking around in between shadows.
If that were true, Ikara, he wouldn't have been murdered, resurrected, and pursued by the bringer of the apocalypse as a result now, would he?
Ha, true enough.
Alright, so they're soul forged. Ikara knew that Leandra had developed feelings for their mutual friend Zandelor, and despite that, she still pursued her own relationship, which drove Leandra away onto her dark path, I guess. I mean, really, when you look all through it, Ikara really is the instigator of the entire event, you know? She just couldn't keep her hands to her fucking self, knowing that her sister had already developed feelings for the guy. And then she goes off and commits murder because of her own jealousy when her sister basically does the same thing, but in retaliation. Anyway, so that's that. Let's look at this here. Find the witch. King Sua used all his summer powers to melt the ice in which the White Witch was encased. Ikara is finally free. A Forge of Souls. Ikara asked us to look for a way to repair her soul forge with Leandra, though where exactly we might find such information remains unknown. A Source Hunter's Journey. Let's see. Where are we at here? We freed Ikara and learned the true circumstances of Chancellor Jake's murder. That night, Leandra had a dalliance with her sister's lover, Zandelor. Sensing their union, Ikara went to the King Crab Inn, only to discover that Leandra had fled and Counselor Jake, her lackey, had plunged a dagger into Zandelor's heart. Ikara sacrificed the counselor in order to save Zandelor, and the two fled. We should go to the end of time and have a further talk with Ikara to see where our quest will lead us next. The day Source Hunters killed the parents of Leandra and Ikara was the day their souls were forged together. They were very close as sisters, but the introduction of Zandelor into their family tore them apart. When next Ikara saw Leandra, she had become the conduit. Ikara told us we must investigate Leandra's activities and told us where to begin. Investigating the mines, Ikara has sent us to investigate the Lukula mines for evidence of her sister's doings. And that's that. Okay, so should I use this bloodstone or not? I don't know. I don't know. Let's go ahead and put our Lucky Charm stuff back on. I don't know. Alright, we're gonna end this episode here, pick up the next episode, which hopefully I'll make my mind where I'm gonna go. I'm sure I will. But anyway, later guys.